Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the season finale of the Icon Cup Series here on Sim Racing Media. We're in the desert racing at Phoenix here for the season finale 200. We've still got some time here left in warm-up. I thought we had asked them to extend the warm-up so we could do some driver interviews. It looks like maybe they forgot to. We have just 3 minutes left to warm up, but one thing we wanted to do was talk to some of the drivers pre-race. So we're going to go down and start yanking some folks in here. First one's going to be Brian Smith. Brian, you got Shane and Alan up in the booth. We wanted to chat with some of our drivers pre-race. Hope you don't mind us pulling you in here.
Yeah, hey, what's up, guys?
So we just wanted to check in with you. Good. Wish you some good luck here in the season finale 200 at Phoenix, and get an idea of what you're expecting here tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm expecting a lot of green flag racing. Actually, we don't have a huge field, but you know how it is in this league. Everyone does a great job keeping it green. So just gonna have to manage my stuff and hopefully stay out front and cold in clean air and stay out of trouble.
Well, sounds good. We wish you luck. We'll let you get back to the final practice here, and hope we talk to you at the end of the race.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Next up, let's see who we got here.
Looks like we have Patrick Colby waiting in the waiting room.
Yeah. Driver of the number 28, Patrick Colby. You got Shane and Alan up in the booth. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
We're here at Phoenix for the season finale. It's been a dramatic and really exciting, almost year-long schedule here, but this is the last race. What are you expecting here tonight at Phoenix?
Oh, goodness, I have no idea. Just trying to stay in it like Kyle Larson today, and we'll see what happens at the end of it.
All right, well, good luck out there. We'll let you get back to final practice here, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of the race.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Next up, driver of the number 30, Ryan Patty. Ryan, you got a copy. Shane and Alan up in the booth.
Hey, Shane, how you doing?
Doing pretty great. We've just been chatting with a couple folks here before we get this thing started. It's been a long 36 race season, a lot of dramatic finishes, dramatic races, and we're here for one more to wrap up the season at Phoenix. You got a bit of an uphill battle on the points, but I think if today's in real life race teaches us anything, as long as you're there at the end, you're going to have a shot at it. What are you expecting in tonight's race?
Yeah, it should be a lot of green flag racing. We have a smaller field than usual tonight, so it's going to make it tough to make up points on these guys. But all in all, just really proud of the performance this season. Hoping to have a good, clean finish here, and maybe pull out a win to finish the season strong.
Yes, sir. Well, good luck out there, and hopefully we get to chat with you after the race.
Awesome, appreciate it.
We've got just 30 seconds here left at warm-up. We'll see if any other drivers jump into the waiting room open with chatting with us, but we'll go ahead and take a look at our race info. It's race number 36, the final race of the season at Phoenix. Air temp 82 degrees, track temp 86 degrees, 200 laps, that's 200 miles. And we're going to have stages at lap 35 and 110. Then the usual 5 sets of tires sitting on the pit road. Up to 3 green-white checker attempts. And my crew chief notes are telling me that the fuel window is somewhere between 55 and 60 laps. So that first stage, we might not even see pit stops if we stay green. Then there's going to be at least one stop in the second stage, and probably at least one. I doubt we're going to stay green flag for stage 3 all the way through. So we'll probably see a couple more pits there. Alan, what do you think your keys to tonight's race are going to be?
Stay clean, stay out of trouble, and just be there at the end. Be patient. It's the last race of the season. Everything's on the line, especially for our Championship 4 drivers. If you're in that Championship 4, you're going to want to stay out of trouble as much as physically possible. But Shane, before we get going here, it's a finale for you too, buddy.
Yeah, I'm going to be taking a little break from my SRM work as we got to the end of the season. Life is getting busy, but it's been a blast calling races with you, Alan, and especially here with the Icon Cup Series on Sunday nights.
Yep. Just want to let you know, too, that going forward, I have, it's always an open door policy, so, you're always more than welcome to jump in, but none of the snap stuff. Let's get to the grid.
Yeah, drivers getting ready to get this thing started here. Looks like we've got just 3 more cars waiting to join. Once they do, we'll start going through the grid. Why don't we go ahead and get it started? So it's Jacob Smith on the pole, Bentley Glazer going to be beside him on the outside, then Brian Smith and Kyle Purcell in row 2. In row 3, Adam Ball and Patrick Colby. Charlie Widener and Sean Purcell in row 4. Then Brock Hersey and Nathan Finnegan on row 5. Good to see Nathan back. I feel like he's missed a couple races here at the end of the season. Braxton Deweese and Ryan Patty on row 6. Cody Neal and Charles Woods in row 7. And then Cody Eldred and Robert Bloon in row 8. Then starting out back is going to be Chris Camburn in the 88. And just like that, Pace Truck is on pit road. They hit it a little early here at Phoenix, as the entrance to pit road is actually on the backstretch. And so it's going to be Jacob Smith leading us to the final green flag of the season here in the season finale 200. And they're off. Brian Smith right there on the back bumper of his teammate in the 4. And excuse me, I think I've been calling this the season finale 200. It actually looks like it's 300 laps. Might have been a typo somewhere.
300 laps, nonetheless.
Are you seeing 300 on your screen, Alan?
Look, I'm seeing 300, and I see Jacob Smith out to the early lead. But here comes Bentley Glazer and Kyle Purcell and Brian Smith. Brian Smith, another one of those championship 4 drivers vying for that championship. Patrick Colby right behind him. And, you know, here's the thing, right? So if you look on the scoring pylon, the drivers in blue are your championship 4 drivers. That's Brian Smith, Patrick Colby, Ryan Petty, and Braxton DeWeese. Braxton DeWeese, you know, got to give it a shout out to him for going 150 laps Saturday or Friday night on Halloween. Not winning the race to the beers, not really winning the race to the beer stand, but he got his Halloween party started just a little bit earlier than what he wanted to. But nonetheless, here we are. We're going to be racing into the darkness, I believe. It's going to end in the twilight, not really even full dark. But, you know, Jacob Smith rather out here in early lead. And here comes Kyle Purcell and Bentley Glazer. They're going to get single filed out down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I just double checked the race information that I got says 200 laps, but I'm seeing 300 here in the session, so we're gonna have a little extended race as we get going.
I mean, 12 more laps, you got a full length.
And let's throw up some stats here for our championship 4 drivers as they come in. Brian Smith is the leader, but he has just a 6-point lead ahead of Patrick Colby. And then 12 points out of the lead, Braxton DeWeese, and 14 back is Ryan Patty. So all 4 of those drivers are still within reach of winning this championship, especially with stage points. And so I think, I mean, Brian Smith has been dominant. You can see there he has 15 wins on the season. That's the same number he had last season, but he was not able to close the deal on the championship. Nathan Finnegan went home with it last year. Finnegan not making the cut all the way to the round of 4. So this is going to be Brian Smith's championship to lose. He's got the statistics to back it up and a little bit of a lead coming into this one, but he cannot afford a DNF, and he can't really even afford an issue early in the race that keeps him from getting some stage points to kind of hold serve here with all the other drivers. He is in 4th place right now, leading all of our championship 4. You can see them in blue on the left. Colby, Patty, and DeWeese running 6th through 8th back behind him.
Look, we saw this Saturday night in the real world with Connor Zillich. We were talking off air. As Kyle Purcell gonna catch the wall, and that's gonna jumble everybody up there. Everybody getting on the binders, and so Jacob Smith gonna catch the wall too. But even though, like we saw on Saturday in the real world, even though that dominant car all season did not win the championship, I think, Shane, it's gonna come down to a race win here. I think you're gonna have to win this race to win the championship.
Yeah, I think it's going to depend on how the stages go. If you win a stage or get a top 5 in both stages, I'm not sure you're going to have to win it at the end. But if you're, just kind of matching what all the other playoff drivers are doing, then yeah, I think you've got to beat them on pit strategy. You've got to dominate that 3rd stage and figure out a way to be in front of these other playoff drivers by a significant number of positions. Again, there's no fancy math, no bonuses or whatever. When it's a 6-point gap between those top 2, that's 6 positions on the track. And sorry, I'm as I'm saying that, I'm realizing, yeah, stage points I don't think are even baked into this either. So it is just going to be the finishing order that decides the points here at the end of the playoffs.
Yeah, so we already got some action here. Right now, these guys are being calm, cool, and collective so far. 17 drivers signing in for this race tonight. Kyle Purcell already grabbing the wall, so is Jacob Smith. Brian Smith just riding behind these guys in that third position, trying to get to the end of stage 1, which ends on lap 35. Like you said, I think you don't take a pit stop in this stage. I think you wait to the end. But there's going to be some strategy go on if you want to win this race.
Yeah, we talked about there are 5 sets of tires in addition to what the drivers start the race with. So if you use one at the end of stage 1, then you're going to need one in the middle of stage 2 and then another at the end of the stage. That's three sets you've used up already. And then
I think
you have one for the final stage and then one for a late restart. But that's if we're doing 200 laps. We're looking at 300. Again, I'm double checking all the notes. I'm seeing 200 everywhere I can find it written down.
Well, I tell you what, there's 17 drivers going, I thought this was 200 laps.
Yeah. But yeah, if they truly only have those 5 sets of tires, we'll have to double check that too. Then that really changes everything. You've got to make all of your tires last at least 60 laps to get to the end of this thing.
Oh, absolutely. You have to. I mean,
we'll have to see even if we'll have to see if they've left the stage laps in the same place.
we're gonna find out. Because we're a little under halfway through stage 1 right now. We're on lap 16 out of 35 for stage 1. And right now your top 10 is all single filed out all the way back to Cody Neal in that number 38 car.
And you have a couple people making up positions early. Ryan Patty and Nathan Finnegan have both gained 6 spots since the start. Cody Neal with 4, DeWeese and Camburn each with 3. And looking at who's got the speed, Kyle Purcell with the fastest lap of the race so far is riding in 4th in that 01 car. Then Finnegan, Jacob Smith, Glazer, and DeWeese all with fast laps. All running in the top 10. I think Patty just slapped the wall a little bit. Well, we jump on board with the driver of the 30. And he's tagging that wall every lap now, Alan.
That's all right. It's just helping him. Right now, as we're just a little, we're about, I want to say, what, 20 laps to go in stage number 1 here. So if you're in stage 1, I don't think you're going to need that pit stop here at the end of stage 1. I think you take it in the middle of stage 2.
Yeah, I think you're right. Again, if with the 200 lap race, I'd feel comfortable getting it at the stage, but for 300 laps, you're going to want to have some extra tires. That could be the difference in the race win or the championship.
On board still is Ryan Patty in that number 3 car, that 30 car rather. The DeWalt car. I'm a DeWalt fan. I'm a Ryan Patty fan. Been all season, but you know, right now with Ryan Smith being your highest running of the championship for Braxton DeWeese, Patrick Colby and Ryan Patty at 6, 7, 8 spots. I mean, that's your championship right there. So Ryan, you know, if you're Brian Smith, you're on defense all day. But if you're Patty, DeWeese, or Colby, you're playing offense.
Yeah, but none of it matters if you can't find some raw speed here at Phoenix. On the long run, it can be about tires, but I feel like Phoenix tends to be a good mixture of short and long runs. You've got to have some raw speed to get it started. Right now, it's Jacob Smith is the fastest car, starting out front and just keeping the lead. His teammate in the 78 seems pretty content to ride there behind him, but Nathan Finnegan anything but content. Now up 7 positions to third and is starting to hunt down that 78.
Yeah, I don't think Nathan Finnegan's going to be too content with riding in that third position too long. He's going for race wins. The driver out of Coventry, Rhode Island, is not going to be content with riding behind Brian Smith too long.
He's looking to the inside as we jump on board with Nathan. Been steadily working his way forward all race long. And we get a look at each driver's style here. So they're riding in 4th gear through turns 3 and 4, then down onto that dog leg at Phoenix. And we haven't even mentioned the dog leg yet tonight. That's kind of the thing that makes Phoenix the most unique track on the schedule in terms of ovals. A couple years ago, they paved that infield, and drivers are allowed to go down there. There's no out of bounds. As we watch Nathan right here, you're going to see him dive down off the traditional track line to that apron, and as long as you've got the steering wheel straight when you hit the transition, it is faster. But if you've got too much wheel into it, the car will snap around on you right as you come down off the apron or hop back onto the traditional track.
Yeah, it's almost you got to decide if the risk is worth the reward.
Meanwhile, back behind him, Ryan Patty's using that dog leg to try and get around Bentley Glazer. This is a battle for 5th, and Patty is going to take it away. Braxton DeWeese trying to follow him through. Patty up 7 positions. DeWeese up 4, trying to make it 5. And on top of the playoff standings for those top 4, there are a number of drivers still competing for 5th place. Cody Neal leading that group right now, 10 points ahead of Jacob Smith when the race started. Neal and Jacob Smith, drivers with 3 wins each that did not make it into the final 4. Nathan Finnegan, another notable driver with 5 wins on the season, currently 11th in points. He did miss some races here in the playoffs, but having a good run tonight. He's gotten up to 2nd around the 78. All right, we
pretty
are
much self-eliminating.
I think Robert Bloom is running race control tonight, I believe, based on the fact that he didn't actually start the race, or he's a couple laps down. He just jumped in the chat and let us know that the race is 200 laps and it will be called final at 200 laps. The 300 was an error setting up the session.
Okay.
So that makes this the season finale 200, not 300 season finale race.
I like that.
Yeah, we got updated graphics on the fly. So just 4 laps to go here in stage 1. Jacob Smith still out front, dominating the field so far. So you look at the lap leaders, it's a very short list. It's Jacob Smith for 32 laps so far, trying to make it 35 to sweep this first stage.
I still don't think you take tires in this stage. I still think you forego the tires at the end of stage 1.
Now, right now, Jacob Smith is not only in the lead, he's the fastest car on the track. Nathan Finnegan, 2nd fastest in 2nd. And then Braxton DeWeese has found some speed here at the end of the run. He's running 5th, just behind Ryan Patty. So 3 of our top 5 drivers are playoff drivers. Patrick Colby back in 9th. And again, Colby was the closest driver to Brian Smith in points when we started this thing, just 6 positions, 6 points away. But this is not where he wants to be again. It's going to be the end of the race that matters. Now 1 lap to go here in stage 1. Jacob Smith almost a second lead over Nathan Finnegan. And there it is, lap 35. Stage caution is out. And that was a quick stage, Alan.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be a quick stage. You know, these will be quick stages if you keep them, if you keep everything, oh, what do you mean? What am I looking for? Clean and green?
Yeah, and that's what these drivers did. I did not see any contact other than a couple wall tags. And with that, we're going to take our first commercial break of the night and get back for the start of stage 2 here in the season finale 200 with the Icon Cup Series on SRM. And welcome back to the Icon Cup Series, Sunday night racing here on SRM. This is the season finale 200 at Phoenix. And the pace truck just hit pit road. We have wrapped up stage 1, every single lap, led by the 4 car of Jacob Smith. Now he's got Nathan Finnegan on his outside, a driver that's been marching through the field. There we go, green flag racing again. Brian Smith and Ryan Patty in that second row, trying to make the most of this restart. It looks like Finnegan. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying, this is the final stage 2 of the year.
Oh, Cody Deal sideways.
Whoa, keep her straight, guys.
A little bit of a just drifting down that backstretch for the 38.
Cody Neal was going to get real sad if his day would have ended with that.
Yeah, let's go back and take a look at that. So this is 2 laps to go on the restart. I'm watching Cody Neal in the 38. Don't think he gets any help. I think he just gets to the gas a little early there, and Adam Ball with the great move to avoid him. Everybody keeps it clean and out of the wall. While we were watching that, Nathan Finnegan took the lead. He was on the high side, has gotten around the 4 car. There, Brian Smith is in 3rd. He smacks the wall pretty hard.
Yeah, Brian Smith cannot afford to do that as he is all over his teammate. It's a Smith on Smith battle for that 2nd position. Meanwhile, Nathan Finnegan is going to try to get away from that Smith on Smith battle before. And look who's in 3rd. Look who's in 3rd position. Look who's in 5th.
Here they come. Braxton DeWeese in 5th. Ryan Patty almost got around Jacob, as now the 4 dives underneath the 78. He doesn't get there, and that slows him down. Here comes Patty down low through the dog leg. Can't quite get there. The entry to turn 1 is so tempting to overdrive, Alan, especially if you're trying to complete a pass, but all it does is just ruin your momentum coming out of turn 2 if you overdo it. Phoenix is one of those tracks that really repays you for patience every single lap in terms of making sure you hit your braking points, back up that corner and dive under the driver in front of you. And then that also helps you save tires. Here comes the 30 doing just that. Gets a great run out of turn 2. Can't get to the inside of the 4 just yet. But you can just see that that 30 car does look faster than the 4 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. The 30 car is definitely faster than the 4. He's looking underneath, so they're good here to good here almost. Ryan Patty in that number 30 ZL1 Chevrolet Camaro to the back bumper. He's going to move him out of the way as we were on board watching this happen high above this battle. And it looks like Jacob Smith has the upper hand, but while this is going on, here comes Braxton DeWeese just weighing like a lighting in the weeds, seeing how this battle is going to unfold.
Oh, I do see Robert in the chat letting us know he's not working race control tonight, but he did start in park as he is feeling under the weather tonight. We hope Robert's feeling better soon.
So Robert did win the race to the beer stand. Or the NyQuil stand.
Is there a trophy for that one?
There ought to be. There ought to be. Look, we're looking for sponsors for the race to the beer stand. So if you have a bar or a microbrewery, anybody that wants to sponsor the race to the beer stand,
yeah, or if you
contact
got
us here at Sun Racing Media.
You know, maybe some sort of restaurant, you know, maybe on Main Street.
Yeah.
Maybe it rhymes with Main Street. We're talking about Braxton DeWeese. He's running in 5th right now. Up 6 positions from the start of the race. Not out there leading yet, but in a great position. Had a chance to watch Braxton drive Friday night in a race with Great Lakes Sim.
Not the night you wanted, but it's still fun to see him out there.
He had a strong running and was even leading laps there in the second half of the race, but yeah, didn't have the ending that he was looking for. But it's always fun to see our Icon drivers out and about running other races. As now,
right now,
Jacob Smith still holding on to 3rd, but Patty is still kind of just lurking behind him.
Well, and here's the thing: that 8 car is lurking behind that 30 car. It looks like, you know, Jacob Smith has slowed the pace down for these 3 drivers right here that are vying for the top 3 right now.
And all of our playoff drivers continuing to move forward. Patrick Colby's now up to 7th. He started 6th, but he was a little further back not too long ago. Dropped to 11th to start stage 2. Up 4 positions since then.
Yeah, absolutely. Patrick Colby currently riding in that 7th position. Like we said, Brian Smith at the top of the show, he's on defense all night long. He has to be.
Still running 2nd. Finnegan and Smith pretty much matching lap times here for the last couple laps. Maintaining that gap, but pulling away from the rest of the field. And it looks like the 01 and the 74 have parked it for the night, Alan.
Yeah, they had their fun meters pegged out for the evening. They've had enough of Phoenix. They're going to go ahead, start working on them race cars, getting them ready to go for Daytona here in February, as we have reached lap 20 of 75 here in stage 2.
Everybody pretty spaced out here as we see Colby smack the wall a little bit of smoke. That's just par for the course here at Phoenix. You really have to maximize every inch of the track to get a good arc into and out of the corners, so tagging the wall, nothing wrong with that.
Now we do know that there's a pit stop coming here, probably around the middle of stage 2. So a lot of these drivers are probably going to flip the stage. I don't think anybody came in for pits, for tires into stage 1, knowing that there's going to be a pit stop here to flip this for the end of stage 2.
Why don't we take a look at those stats? Actually, it looks like everybody took 4 tires at the end of stage 1, with the exceptions of Charles Woods. Oh, actually, no, he just pitted now.
Okay.
Pretty good battle here towards the back of the pack. This is between Widener, Neal, and Camburn. The 38 just kind of hanging out at the back after that wiggle he had earlier in the race. As Camburn goes up high, I think that's going to let the 95 get by him. Take that position back. DeWeese starting to close in on Patty once again. That's a battle for 4th.
We have just 50 laps here in the final stage 2 of the year, and right now Ryan Patty's enjoying that 2-second gap that he has to make up. And here comes Braxton DeWeese. He's right there, almost to the back bumper of that number 30 car. Can he make a move?
We jump on board with Braxton DeWeese. It just looks like he's got to wait to get on the throttle longer than the 30. At least there in turns 1 and 2. He's coming in a lane lower on entry to turns 3. And then keeping it a little bit away from the wall. I'd like to see him use a little more track, Alan. We talked about it. You've got to use every inch of this track. Nothing is out of bounds.
Oh, no. No.
Right there, that 8 car looks a little loose coming out of turn 2.
Charles Woods on pit road in a number 98 car.
And he's been there for 3 minutes. So maybe an issue there with the 98. Meanwhile, we got a battle brewing between Cody Eldred and Adam Ball.
And we got the 32 car with connection issues.
Up front, Nathan Finnegan now with over a second lead ahead of the 78 of Brian Smith. Then it's another half second back to the 4 car of Jacob Smith. And another half second then back to Ryan Patty running 4th. And Deweese has now kind of lost touch with Patty.
He's still there. He's still catching that draft. All Braxton Deweese can hope for now is if Patty gets up there and starts racing Jacob Smith for that 3rd position. And I tell you what, the driver's lost touch is blatantly Glazer in that number 87 car. He's losing touch minute by minute with to Braxton Deweese.
Yeah, there's now 2 distinct packs of cars. The top 5, and there comes Jacob Smith to pit road. A little early here on this stint, but that might be his strategy. Try and undercut the other drivers and make the most out of some fresh tires.
I don't know. I'd undercut the stage 2 maybe. This is why these guys are up here and or down on the racetrack, and we're up here in the broadcast booth. So.
Yeah, I think if you're the leader, you've got such a good gap here. I'm running it long. I don't have anything to gain by being aggressive at this point in the race. We'll keep an eye on Jacob and see what happens to him pitting under green flag conditions. So he's going to take 4 tires. And he's going to be at least 1 lap down. About 1.5 laps behind the leader. We'll check in on his lap times and see what he's gaining with fresh tires, but also looks like the 95 has hit pit road.
That's Charlie Widener on pit road. Charlie Widener, the 95 car, coming in for his services, and you know, here we are at lap 70 of 200, not 300. That's a typo.
Closest battle on the track is between Adam Ball and Cody Eldred. Now Brock Hersey on to pit lane in that 24 car. Nathan Finnegan continuing to stretch his lead ahead of the 78, now over 1.5 seconds. Right now, Finnegan, Patty are the 2 fastest cars on average of the last 5 laps. Brian Smith is 3rd fastest. So your top 5 cars are the top 5 fastest cars on track. And that's why we're not seeing a lot of close battles or position changes at the moment. It's Coney Neal, the next driver to hit pit lane. And so if you were going to split this thing right down the middle, now's the time.
And I think a lot of drivers know that too. Nathan Finnegan gonna stay out as long as he can. Braxton Deweese riding that back there and forth. Got connection issues. We had a developing story with Braxton Deweese. We're gonna keep an eye on that, as hopefully those connection issues don't. I mean, I tell you what, that'd be the worst way to lose a championship, is what's a connection issue.
Yeah, Deweese had kind of left the visibility there for a second, and he lost some speed. In doing so, he might have had to check up to be safe. And Finnegan now at the end of this run really starting to elongate that gap. Now 2 seconds back to the 78, and Deweese is on pit road here. 39 laps into stage 2. Chris Camburn going to come with him. And this is a long pit road, Alan. You enter out of turn 2 and come all the way around and don't rejoin until turn 1. And here comes everybody else. Ryan Patty and Bentley Glazer, the next 2 drivers to hit pit lane. Finnegan, Smith, and Colby still out there. And here comes last year's champion in that 6 car down pit road. Brian Smith follows him. We'll see what Colby does. Looks like he's going to stay out and inherit the lead. So we check on the weather so far. I think it's pretty much exactly the same as when we started. Both air and track temps in the 80s. Not much to see there. So now Colby, with just over a half-second lead ahead of Cody Eldred, is leading the race. And if I'm Colby, I think you got to do something different than what everyone else is doing. We saw some drivers trying to pit early, most of them pitting kind of right in the middle of the stage. So why not run this long and see if you can catch a caution that gives you an advantage? Right now, there are only 5 cars on the lead lap as Patty, Brian Smith both try to unlap themselves, and they're going to do it. Oh, Smith almost into the 30 car. Has to check up and turn down away from him. He gets a little sideways, but saves it.
And that's a mistake that you have to avoid. Braxton Deweese 1 lap down now. And Patrick Colby's still in the lead here. He is staying out as long as he can. We are over halfway through stage number 2. And this race is going by so fast.
Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure the fuel window is like 55, maybe as far as 60 laps. So Colby's only gone 42 so far, so he still got over 10 laps, maybe 15 or so before he's going to have to pit. But while he's doing it, he's running lap times that are 28.4s. And the folks that have pitted already are running a 26.5, so almost a 2-second a lap difference, which means that in 13 laps, they're going to catch him anyway.
Here he comes, here he comes.
Adam Ball had also stayed out. He's on pit road. Cody Eldred's going to stay out and see what he can do. With Colby coming to pit road, that puts Deweese back on the lead lap. Cody Neal and Charlie Widener just behind our leader here, both battling to unlap themselves and battling for that lucky dog position. They're both going to get back on the lead lap there. And now Bentley Glazer comes into frame. He's the next car trying to unlap himself to get around Eldred.
It looks like he's going to probably do it by the time to get to turn number 1.
And that puts 9 cars back on the lead lap.
26 laps to go here in the final stage 2 of the year. And Shane, it's been a long, grueling season here with the Icon Cup Series. We started way back in February. And here we are. It's now November 2nd. And we're racing for a championship.
Yeah, it's really easy to remember the Icon schedule because they pretty much mirror the real-life NASCAR schedule, with the exception of a couple races here at the end of the season, and they do a 3-race final round of 4 instead of a 1 race to win it all. But otherwise, yeah, 36 races going to be in the books here off the schedule. And we're going to crown our 2025 champion tonight.
I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with my Sunday nights.
Yeah, it will be a different feeling.
I'm not sure what I'm gonna be able to do with my hands. I may have to go spend some quality time with my wife.
Nothing wrong with that. Cody Eldred still out there. Now 49 laps on those tires and on that fuel tank. Nathan Finnegan just 13 seconds 13 seconds back, a half lap behind our leader, and he is still gaining, now about a second a lap. That's really interesting, Alan. So those fresh tires are really fast, but only for a few laps, as now most of the drivers that have pitted have been out there for 10 laps or more. They've taken a second kind of out of that lap time advantage. Patrick Colby unlaps himself.
Well, just as we're watching this battle go on, Shane, I know you're a racer at heart, and I'm a racer too. I gotta tell you what, man. Over at Goat Locker Racing, which you can check the Monday night on B Street with the ARCA series, with Dave Regal and company. Your boy he's 6th in points right now. So we're vying for a championship in our car here, in our ARCA car. But I'm bringing back a special paint scheme just for our good friend David Regal on Monday night.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Well, he's got a soft spot in his heart for the Dallas Cowboys.
Ooh. I can't support that.
So I told him I'm bringing it back. But Shane, where can they catch you racing at?
I race Thursday nights in the GEC eNASCAR League, and broadcast their truck series on Tuesday nights, also on GEC eNASCAR. But yeah, we're in the playoffs here. We've got about 4 races left in our season. I have finished second in the points 3 times before. Right now, I'm not even sitting that well, so got a big uphill battle. We've got a great racer, been dominating our season, that everybody's been chasing down. I have finished second to him, I think 4 times this season, so gonna have to find a little extra speed to be successful there. But back here at Icon, we've been watching the 78. He's been trying to chase down Ryan Patty. He had gotten to him and then kind of lost a little speed here the last 2 laps. Another great battle brewing is between Glazer and Neal. This is for 6th place. Now we saw Patrick Colby run long there here in stage 2, and that has cost him a little bit. He got to lead some laps, but I'm not sure. Let's take a look at his lap chart and see if this was a net gain. Right now, he has lost a couple positions from where he was running before the pit cycle started, back around lap 65 or so. I think he had gotten up to maybe 7th or so, and now he's in 8th, so just 1 position worse than when he took that gamble. And with that stage 2 break coming up, I'm not sure he's really lost anything. I like that he tried something different.
Yeah, absolutely. As we are working our way towards the end of stage number 2, the final stage number 2 of the year. And you know, as we near the end of the season here, with 15 laps to go here in stage number 2, everybody's done made their pit stop here. Do you go into pits at the end of the stage?
I think most of the drivers, yes. I think Eldred had stayed out so long that he might have that option, but I just don't know what the advantage is other than trying to save one extra set. But if we like look at Ryan Patty's night, he's only changed tires twice. Once at the stage break and then once here in the middle of stage 2. So he still has 3 more sets sitting on pit road. We've still got 15 laps in this stage. So I think you need tires, otherwise you're just going to lose track position so quickly. As we mentioned, the fresh tires for the first 10 laps or so are worth about an extra second of speed. So I don't know, even for 10 laps difference, which Eldred, for example, he's already run 7 laps. He's going to have a 20 lap delta to anyone who changes tires. I just don't know why you would take that gamble there just to save an extra set of tires that you probably won't need given how green flag this race has looked.
Exactly.
I see Pete Walsh in the chat. He says it's 4 tires and fuel, baby.
Oh, you know me. I don't do fuel. I live dangerously.
Oh, so again, Brian Smith starts to catch the 30 car of Ryan Patty and then can't get it done. He slaps the wall there, loses some pace. They're very spaced out around the track right now. Closest battle at the moment is between Glazer and Neal. But now Patrick Colby, we mentioned he ran long, which means he has the freshest tires of just about everybody out there other than Cody Eldred, who really ran long. And you can see it in the lap times. Colby has gained a second on the leader over the last 5 laps or so. Now he's still 13 seconds back from Nathan Finnegan. But I think he's going to catch these 2 drivers right on here on our screen and get these positions before the stage is up. He's still got 10 laps to do it.
10 laps to go in stage number 2, the final stage 2 of the year. Nathan Finnegan, Ryan Patty, Brian Smith, Braxton DeWeese. 3 of your top 4 in points. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you got to go all the way back to 7th to find the one and only Bentley Glazer.
So let's check in with our playoff drivers right now. Furthest up in the running order is Ryan Patty running second. Out there for Electric City Racing. 3 wins on the season. Looking to make it 4 here at Phoenix. Then behind him, it's Brian Smith. Leading the way for Buddy Motorsports right now. His teammates back in 5th, Jacob Smith, who started on the pole, but 78 comes into this race with a 6-point lead for the championship standings. He's running 3rd right now. And again, if he finishes anywhere in the top 5, I think he clinches this thing up. So he's where he needs to be. Then in 4th position, Braxton DeWeese running 4th in that Jane's on Main number 8. And for everybody to have a shot here, they're going to need Brian Smith to have an issue or just lose some speed one way or another. Then last in the playoff running order right now, Patrick Colby in 7th. He's doing his best to climb up back to the lead after gambling on pit strategy, running a little long here in stage 2. He's up to 7th. Now Bentley Glazer has come to pit road, Alan, and that is not what I would have expected.
No, definitely not. You got to wonder what's going on with Billy. Oh, he has parked it for the night.
Yeah, he had an extended stop there.
Bentley Glazer in a development has had a spun meter pegged for the evening.
Yeah, I don't see any contact or issues or spins or anything there for the 87. But he must have heard that the beer stand party was getting pretty good here.
Pretty rowdy.
He's going to be the 5th driver to park it here tonight. Leaves just 12 cars out on track, 11 of them on the lead lap. 3 to go here in stage 2. Nathan Finnegan out front with a 4-second lead back to anybody else. And you know Nathan is enjoying this, but also just a little bittersweet knowing that he did not make it to the Final Four this year. To have this race mean a championship instead of a win, but it is not slowing him down. He's still pulling away from Ryan Patty in 2nd.
He's still gonna try to go out there, do the best he can, win this race, and build on that momentum for next season.
He's now led 57 laps. It's going to be 58 when he comes back to the start-finish line to win stage 2. And there it is, lap 110. That should be the end of stage 2. There is this caution. And with that, every driver going to have a chance to pull those belts tight, get a drink of water, or something else, whatever is going to give them the speed they need to finish up the final stage of racing this season with the Icon Cup Series on SRM. We're going to step away for our final commercial break of the night and of the season, and be right back for the start of the final stage. welcome back once more. Stage 3 about to get started here with the Icon Cup Series at Phoenix for the season finale 200, not 300. Nathan Finnegan and Ryan Patty are on the front row. Braxton DeWeese and Jacob Smith now in row 2. Every driver grabbed 4 tires and a full tank of fuel there at the stage break to get this thing started for the final 86 laps. Finnegan going to pull away in the lead. DeWeese down low. That leaves an opening for Patty to get a run out of turn 2, and he is there with Jacob Smith on his rear bumper. Patty trying to use the momentum of the high side. We got a car spinning in the back, and caution is out. Chris Camburn goes around. Let's see what happened to driver of the 88. There it is, just gets loose on the bottom. The only issues we've had all night have been cars kind of getting loose on their own. Most of the time they've been able to save it, but Camburn goes around there on the apron, right around the start-finish line. So cold tires catching drivers off guard here on this restart. And that Phoenix sun is really... it's not heating up the track, but it has got to be in some of the drivers' eyes as we see the glare on the track right now. So that's our first caution that wasn't a stage break all night long. Had 4 lead changes so far tonight. Those leaders being Nathan Finnegan, Jacob Smith, Cody Eldred, Patrick Colby, and Brian Smith. Finnegan dominant. Once he got to the lead, he hasn't given it up. Brock Hersey was the only car 1 lap down there, and he's going to get the wave around. Just 83 laps remain here in the season for the Icon Cup Series. Go ahead and take a peek at some of the stats on the season, and not just for our 4 playoff drivers, but everybody, our 16 drivers that made the initial playoff cut. Braxton DeWeese with 21 top 10s. Jacob Smith also with 21. Nathan Finnegan with 22. A lot of drivers have had a lot of success this season. We've had the chance to interview so many great drivers here with the Icon Cup Series over the season. We'll see who we're going to chat with at the end of this race on the podium. So it's Nathan Finnegan and Ryan Patty up front again. Braxton DeWeese, Jacob Smith, 3rd and 4th, and Cody Neal and Patrick Colby. And right now, Brian Smith, the tail running driver of those playoff folks. And the race is back underway. Green flag is in the air. Finnegan gets out, as does Ryan Patty. But now it's Jacob Smith coming on the outside, trying to clear Braxton DeWeese. He's going to do it. Down into turns 3 and 4, and he also dives underneath the 30 in the same move. But Ryan Patty pulls back by on the outside. Cody Neal is now up to 5th. After having that wiggle getting sideways earlier in the race, lost a bunch of positions doing it. He's been fighting back. You can see he has gotten as low as 15th, but currently in the top 5. Patty tags the wall again. And the number 30 car just ran the fastest lap of the race, a 26.42. And he's going to use it to look to the inside for the lead. But Finnegan holds on. And Jacob Smith runs a little high. I think he was expecting Patty to go to the low line and he was going to try to go around the outside of him. But when the 30 slid up to the middle lane, he had to check up and go high. That slowed down his momentum. Patty now trying to find a way around Nathan Finnegan for the lead. And there it is. You can see the glare from the sun off the dashboard, off the track, and then through those grandstands down in turns 3 and 4. Looks like he's going to get a run to the outside.
And Ryan Patty on the offensive to the outside he goes. They're Goodyear to Goodyear with Nathan Finnegan. And here comes that number 8, James on Main. He's right in that 4th position. But right now, Ryan Patty, Nathan Finnegan teammates are Goodyear to Goodyear as they come to the Geico or the O'Reilly's restart zone and on to the turn number 1, the treacherous turn number 1. And they are still battling it out, throwing haymakers here on lap number 126.
This is incredible side-by-side racing. The best we've seen all day. Neither driver gaining an advantage. And they come around again.
Now. Don't look now. Ryan Smith is 6th in the running order.
He's gotten by Patrick Colby. There's a bit of a gap back to the 78 on time, but the way these guys are racing up front as Patty takes the lead away from Nathan Finnegan.
I still say you need to win this race to win the championship.
Absolutely. I mean, the closest driver on points was Patrick Colby, 6 points, but so that means Colby's going to have to beat Brian by 6 positions here at the end of this race. So right now, he's down 1 position to the 78. And with 5 drivers out of the race, I mean, the worst Brian could finish at this point is 12th. So if we crunch some math here, that means that I think Deweese and Patty are not going to be able to catch Brian even if he were to wreck out right now. So Colby, the only driver still within reach of a championship other than Brian Smith, the points leader. We'll see what Patty can do with that clean air out front. We've seen some long stints of leading. I believe Jacob Smith led the first 39. Then Finnegan has now led 71 laps. And I don't think that 6 car is done fighting with Ryan Patty for this lead right now.
I think right now, Ryan Patty and Nathan Finnegan are just having fun right now. 2 teammates just battling hard. But don't count out Ryan Smith from this race win just yet. But it's still got a long ways to go in stage number 3.
Oh, Patty into the wall. Finnegan looking down low, but giving him plenty of space. And they're side by side again in the same positions. Patty on the outside, Finnegan down low. Smith, Jacob Smith, that is, Deweese and Cody Neal still tagging along, and they're in the top 5 as they've kind of broken away from the rest of the pack. And you'd think these guys would slow down being side by side like this and bring those other drivers into it, but they are just burning down the lap times, even side by side.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we are working lap 134. Oh, 200, sorry. Almost got it wrong myself.
Oh, Patty into the wall again. And that's one of those types of damage where if you tag the wall once a little too hard, that fender gets pushed in, the car just tightens up, and you're just more and more likely to get into the wall the next time. Jacob continuing to have a great run tonight. Running in third. Really hasn't dropped out of the top 5 with the exception of that green flag pit cycle in stage 2 where he went as low as 13th and then came right back up to about 3rd. And that's where he's running right now. He's got Braxton Deweese in his mirror. Braxton kind of just been sitting around 4th place for the second half of this one after starting 11th and coming up to the top 5 through stage 1. And now he has Cody Neal right onto his back bumper. Neal in the 38. It's taken him a while to get in to the top 5, but that's where he is right now. .38, not running his what I would call a beautiful Caterpillar scheme that he's run most of the second half of the season. Looks like he went back to the Amsoil scheme he was running earlier in the season.
What time you gotta do that?
And then just behind him, his teammate and points leader, Brian Smith, he's in 6th. He has kept his more recent scheme of the Michigan Humane Society, opting to leave the Johnsonville Brat scheme at home.
Well, he does love his dogs out of Michigan, driver out of northern Michigan to be exact. But now, we only have 61 laps left here in the Icon Cup season.
Now, laps are winding down. Then back in 7th. There's a 2-second gap now between 6th and 7th place. Patrick Colby is running back there, leading this second pack of cars. Adam Ball, Charlie Widener, Cody Eldred. And a little further back is Camburn and Hersey. Still got this 4-car battle for second. Jacob Smith, Brian Smith, Braxton Deweese, and Cody Neal. And there goes the 78 around his teammate. And Braxton Deweese throws it in down low on Jacob Smith. I think wisely backed out of that. It was almost 3 wide. And Braxton just, I mean, it's 3-on-1 here, Buddy Motorsports against Janes on Main, number 8. Nowhere to go for Braxton. Ooh, he rides up a little bit, almost into the 78, but they keep it clean. Oh, 78 tags the wall. Have not had a ton of damage. In fact, I don't think any car has even had to perform any repairs.
No, usually we bring out the wrench wranglers and seeing who all had to repair what, but really, I don't think there's been a constant outside of the gate, outside of your stage.
It was just that one where Camburn got loose on the apron right after the start of stage 2. Now just 55 laps. And with Brian Smith up to 4th, there's nothing anybody can do mathematically to catch him in the points. If he can finish in the top 5, he's going to come home with this championship.
Now, do you think that Brian Smith is inside the race car right now doing math?
I mean, well, let's check. I don't see any calculators. I don't see any graph paper. Oh, now he might have someone in his ear telling him, doing some math for him. That's what I usually have my dad in my ear when I'm racing, telling me fuel mileage and who's pitting and who do I need to beat, who's leading the race, things like that. But Brian looking pretty relaxed, although he did tag the wall on that last lap. Just out for a Sunday night cruise at this point. We'll see who is fast on track. The leader, Nathan Finnegan, is the fastest car by 1/10 of a second here over the last 5 laps, but Jacob Smith is second fastest. So we'll expect the 4 to get around Patty here at some point. There's now a 2-second lead between Finnegan and Patty. And then about a half second back to Jacob behind him. Brian and Jacob have gapped Deweese by a bit, but Cody Neal has been battling to get by that number 8 for the last 10 laps now.
We just have 51 laps to go here in the season of Icon, and Brian Patty finds himself back on the bottom step of that podium. But he look, Brian's not going to be content with finishing 3rd. He is chasing that elusive 16th win.
You're right. He had mentioned at the beginning of the season he wanted to try and beat his win total from 2024, which was 15. He's matched it. A victory tonight would push him over, break his own record. Ooh, and Ryan Patty into the wall. That was a pretty big puff of smoke.
We'll see.
But I don't think anyone in this field is content with anything other than a win. This is the last race of the season, whether you're in the playoffs or not. This is it. You got nothing to lose. And even if you get into somebody and put them in the wall, you're not going to have to talk to them for a while.
No, I mean, they're going to go their own separate ways, but, you know, and I'm sure there's going to be some shakeups on these race teams. You know, drivers moving teams here, there, and everywhere. Maybe even some additions to next season. I don't know. Maybe Ryan Petty and Ryan Smith and Ryan Petty become teammates. as I get all tongue-tied here, look, it's the end of the season.
And Smith is catching him. This is the battle for second place. Oh, Patty into the wall again. There's 18 wins this season between these two drivers. Both making it to the final four. And the 78 sets his sights now on Nathan Finnegan. There's a 3.5 second gap between them. And as we're now 42 laps into this pit cycle, if you were going to split this one right down the middle, you'd be doing it right now. So I'm sure we'll see somebody come to pit road here in the next couple laps, and then we'll find out who's going to try to run long. Will it be Patrick Colby again? He's running in 6th place. Again, kind of nothing to lose there as he's the only driver still mathematically within reach of passing Brian Smith. That's if Brian Smith were to finish last of the currently running cars. Then if Colby were able to be in the top 5, he'd have a shot at it. It's a 6 position gap between them, but it's probably, let's call it 7, because I imagine the tiebreaker is the win total, and Brian's going to have the leg up there. And there it is, first car on pit road, Chris Camburn. And actually, he's the second one on pit road. Jacob Smith came down 1 lap ago.
He's gonna come down and get those 4 tires. Those 4 Dr. Feelgoods.
And Finnegan just continues to pull away from Ryan Patty and Brian Smith. Now 4 seconds between those front 2 drivers, and we can hear a collision going on. There's the caution.
Oh, no.
Camburn and Jacob Smith involved. Or sorry, Jacob Smith is involved. Camburn was an earlier crash. Let's go back and see what happens here to the 4 car. He's a lap down from pitting and is catching. Oh no! Contact between the 38 teammates of Jacob Smith and Cody Neal. And you got to imagine the team radio is a mixture of apologies and unhappiness. Jacob Smith was having a great run. He'd started on pole, led 39 laps, and is now towed to the garage with a meatball flag after that contact. Let's go back and look at it one more time. He's on fresh tires. He comes up on the 38 and the 8.
Cue the crash.
And I'm guessing that Neil is expecting him with those fresh tires to just really drive it deep into the corner. And then right there, yeah, the braking point's just not the same at all. And Jacob catches the worst of it up into the wall. That is likely going to end his run here at Phoenix and his season with Icon. Oh, you can just see Batman really upset about that one, gritting his teeth there on the side of the 4 car. So with that, this is going to take all the pit strategy right out of the race, Alan.
I was gonna say, remember that pit strategy?
It's over.
Yeah, we just tossed that right out the window. I mean, you're gonna make it from here now, anyways.
Yeah,
but
so
let's do this.
So the only other driver that had pitted, I believe, was Chris Camburn. He gets the lucky dog, so he goes back on the lead lap. He comes down pit road too. So everybody now there, and pretty much everybody still has that 5th set of tires sitting on pit road if there is going to be another late race restart of any kind.
Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
So Jacob Smith, he's still on pit road, not out of the race necessarily, but there are now just 11 cars on the lead lap.
This puts Brian Smith in that prime real estate that he wants.
Yeah, he's in the lead. Made his way out of the pits ahead of Ryan Patty. And everybody taking 4 tires with the exception of Nathan Finnegan putting on 2. That's an interesting play. We might have to go back and see if something happened to that 6 car. But the green flag is back out. Yeah, I don't know if our pit stop data is accurate there in terms of, I mean, Finnegan was leading the race. Even if he did take 2 tires, he should have come out ahead of anybody that took 4. So he must have had another issue on pit road. We'll go back and see if we can find that. Meanwhile, he is charging up through the field 3 wide down onto the dog leg, getting around the 95. And don't look now, Alan, but the top 4 drivers in the race are our championship 4: Brian Smith, Ryan Patty, Braxton DeWeese, and Patrick Colby. Finnegan gonna do his best to break up that playoff party.
I just don't think you're going to be able to. We got just a little over, 35 to go. 36.
Yeah, so
If my math is math.
I'm going to go back and watch Nathan Finnegan on pit road to see what happened here to cost him the lead and almost 10 positions. I mean, it looks clean right there. And yeah, it's right sides only. Yeah, I don't know. Am I missing something, Alan?
I have no idea. I don't think you are.
I didn't see any black flags. I didn't see anything else obvious. So Finnegan now in 5th place, chasing those 4 playoff drivers. Brian Smith out front, 0.3 of a second lead over Ryan Patty, with Braxton DeWeese in his mirror. And then Patrick Colby in 4th, trying to hold off the charge from Finnegan. And now they're all single filed out once again. And Patty starting to get aggressive here, trying to get around the 78.
Brian Smith's got to hold off Ryan Patty.
Oh, and look at that sun down the backstretch, Alan. That is completely blinding. I kind of wonder if that played into that caution we just saw, where Cody Neal was trying to tuck in behind his teammate caught his bumper just by an inch or so.
Maybe. I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I mean, Ryan gets a little loose, but I mean,
yeah, I mean,
it's
but
not like directly in your face yet.
yeah, and it's kind of not there at all by the time they got into the corner. Now just 28 laps remaining as Cody Neal has caught this group. Trying to get around Nathan Finnegan. Again, that 6 car was charging forward. Started 10th on the restart, charged right up to 5th, and now is going to give that position to Cody Neal.
Now we just have 26 laps left here to go. 26 laps left in the Icon Cup Series season. Ryan Smith out front. Now the story becomes, can he get number 16 and best last year's win total of 15 races with 25 circuits to go? 25 miles left here this season. And Ryan Smith is Ryan Patty is right there, along with Braxton DeWeese. Regardless of the wins, Brian Smith has his championship in his hands. There's no possible way that he could lose the thing unless he just has a connection issue or anything like that. And then at that point, it would go to Patrick Colby. But nonetheless, there's going to be one happy dog on the side of that race car here in 24 laps.
And Patty tags the wall again. He's been doing it about every 3 or 4 laps here in the second half of this race. The season finale, 200, not 300.
I love it. Yeah, here it's taken me 2.5 stages to figure this out. But after tonight, I'm gonna go get a CAT scan. If you know the movie, you know the movie.
I'm just wondering if they offer CAT scans at a Waffle House at 3 in the morning.
I mean, they might. I don't know.
So Finnegan and now has gotten back around Neal and around Colby. Up to 4th, 2 seconds behind the leader. Got a little over 20 laps. Try and chase down Braxton DeWeese, Ryan Patty, and Brian Smith. Again, I'm at a loss for what happened to the 6 car of how he lost all those positions through the pit cycle under caution.
Unfortunately, I'm not Chris Angel. We can't figure that one out. But nonetheless, here we are as Nathan Finnegan finds himself just outside of that podium as we have just 21 laps remaining. Make it 20 to go here in the Icon Cup Series Championship. Ryan Smith pulling out that 3/10 of a second lead. We'll call it 1 second as he is pulling away from Ryan Patty. But right now, Nathan Finnegan trying to run down that number 8, James on Main. And I'm not going to, Shane, here's the thing. None of these drivers in this field tonight have anything to hang their head on.
No, this Phoenix racetrack is a battle within itself. Every driver out there is still on the lead lap at the moment, so everybody is winning the battle against the track, at least so far. That's still running anyway. Nathan Finnegan continues to chase Braxton DeWeese. This is the 4th place driver in the 6 car, trying to chase down 3rd place in the 8 car. And in doing so, Finnegan is continuing to gain on the leader. I don't think he's gaining enough to catch him before this is over. So there you can see, based on the last lap, and we will probably update right here, that time Finnegan a little slower than the leader, but faster than everybody else out on track. Jacob Smith is showing as the fastest car on track because his last lap was back before he got parked, and it was on the fresher tires than these drivers are on right now. Cody Neal also with some speed back in 5th place as he's gotten around Colby.
Just 16 circuits left to go. 16 miles. And Brian Smith has now opened it up to 1.1452. A 1 second lead with just 16 miles. Make it 15 miles left to go. 15 laps left in the season. There he is. He put it on cruise control.
Yeah, looking at the lap times, I think Smith was cruising there for a while, not pushing very hard, and has now kind of put his foot down. His lap times have quickened, and he is now the fastest car on the track. As he looks to spike the ball in the end zone on this race, on this season. Brian has been the car to beat more often than not.
14 laps left to go here in the Icon Cup Series season, the 2025 edition. And now Brian Smith has just opened it up. And guess who's backing out to Braxton DeWeese? That's that number 30 car, Ryan Patty. But here comes the 6 car of Nathan Finnegan as he's looking to go to the outside. The James on Main number 8 gonna close the door on him with just 12 laps left to go here to see the 12 miles left.
Down to the inside goes Nathan Finnegan. Not quite gonna clear him as DeWeese battles back on the outside. And this is slowing down both of these drivers. They're losing time to the leader. Oh, they both drift up high. Almost slam doors. This is some great hard racing here as the laps are winding down.
And to go. 10 circuits left around here. Ryan Smith has now opened it up to a 1.167 lead. Almost, we'll call it 2 seconds, 1.5. Over Ryan Petty, Braxton DeWeese. And guess who's caught Nathan Finnegan? That is Cody Neal. As we have just 9 laps to go here in the season. Just 9 laps to go. These guys are battling hard. You're not missing anything up front as Brian Smith has that 1.17 advantage over that number 78 car. Nonetheless, here comes Nathan Finnegan looking to the outside of Braxton DeWeese. Braxton DeWeese looking to the outside, or up there on the inside. Nathan Finnegan trying to complete the pass, going down through the dog leg. 8 laps remain.
Yeah, we saw Nathan trying to get this pass done on the bottom and it just couldn't get there. So now on the outside, he's going to have a big run right here. But Braxton is just not giving up that position easy. They're still going to be side by side, but I think Finnegan is going to be able to clear him and get some momentum into turn 1.
7 laps to go here at the Phoenix International Raceway. Lap 194 of 207 laps to go. It's going to be anybody's race right now. Brian Smith opens it up to a 2.07, 2-second lead now. As Nathan Finnegan battling it out, and we got another battle brewing here. It's going to be Charlie Widener, Cody Eldred, and Adam Ball. They're almost 3 wide. 6 laps to go. A half a dozen for the championship. We're working lap 195. And speaking of the 95 car, he's Goodyear to Goodyear with Cody Eldred coming off of turn number 2. Give that advantage to Charlie Widener as they go down the back straight away.
Yeah, this 3-car battle is really heating up. This is for 7th place. And Wider's all the way down to the inside wall there, even using the pit lane exit a little bit, trying to get every ounce of speed out of that 95 car. He's going to take the position.
4 circuits remaining, 4 miles for Brian Smith up there in the front. Braxton DeWeese under fire from Cody Neal. Just 4 laps remain. Ooh, they're gonna make contact a little bit. Cody Neal gonna go right up the racetrack as Brian Smith comes to get 3 laps to go. 3 laps left of the season. And here in stage number 3. There we go, 3 to go, and the Jason main car is looking to finish on the podium, but he's got a long road to hoe as Nathan Finnegan is solidly in that 3rd position as they round the dog leg one more time. Brian Smith's gonna come down and get 2 popsicle sticks, 2 laps to go. Two more miles for the driver of that number 78 car out of Northville, Michigan. Currently driving for Buddy Motorsports as he's coming down that back straightaway. Just so smooth all day long. As he's going to make it to the inside, the popsicle sticks go down, the white flag comes up. We were racing back to checkers.
For the final time around Phoenix International Raceway, it's the 78 car out front. Representing the Michigan Humane Society, Brian Smith looks to pick up his 16th win on the season and slam dunk that win into a championship. Brian Smith wins the race and the championship here for the Icon Cup Series at Phoenix. Ryan Patty comes home 2nd. And Braxton DeWeese is 3rd. What a race. I mean, we really only had 2 cautions that weren't for the stages. And then Brian Smith finds a way to get to the front after leading 42 laps. Nathan Finnegan. Wait, what happened here? I'm a little confused. I thought Finnegan was 3rd. Oh, my podiums go all over the place. Drivers are getting black flagged left and right. I think they're having a little too much fun here with the end of the season, so the positions are all goofed up.
I think you're right. I think you're 100% correct.
But yeah, for all the drivers, we want to talk to everybody tonight. A great season. Anybody who wants to come up into the booth, we'll be happy to chat with you.
For a little bit, within reason. We still got to work on Monday.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, let's for anybody who wants to chat with the booth. Come on up, hit the waiting room, and we'll be happy to chat with you. So there it is. The race has been called at lap 200 per schedule. There was a 300 lap race in the session by mistake. So most of these drivers came down pit road, had a little fun with it. Brian Smith back out there, hopefully to do some donuts. Now he's having some connection issues.
Oh man. Maybe he brings out the caution.
But yeah, so we're gonna have to check on that running order at the finish, but we're just gonna go ahead and start chatting with everybody. Let's see who we got. Let's start with Nathan Finnegan, driver of the number 6 car. Nathan, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
All right, now we watched you dominate the laps led, almost 100 laps on the night, and then have some sort of hiccup there on that pit cycle under caution. Tell us about your night.
Yeah, unfortunately, the speeding bug bit us again, and still trying to get used to it since they reworked it with the new UI update and everything. It feels a little bit more sensitive than it was before. And frankly, too, just wasn't paying attention as much as I should have been. Was talking to teammates and whatnot, and just next thing you know, we got black flagged for speeding. So we had to drop to the end, and right when we got the penalty was right before we pulled in our box. So inevitably, we got stuck only on 2 tires then. So that didn't do us any favors either.
Well, that answers the mystery. We were going back and watching the replay over and over, and for whatever reason, that black flag wasn't showing up in our system. So we're kind of confused on how you got back there, but that answers it. A great day, a great season, 5 wins this season, and then you come out almost win this one. You got to feel good about it. We know you ended up missing a few races, and that kind of kept you out of one of the cutoffs for the playoffs there, but nothing to hang your head about, that's for sure. We've had a blast watching that 6 car all season long. Who else you got to thank for your run tonight and your runs all season long that were really impressive?
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, I feel like this is a little bit of a microcosm of some of the other races this season where we kind of we put together like 80-90% of the race, and then that last 10% things didn't quite go our way for one reason or the other. But no, all in all, a good season for the 6, and big shout out to the CCR ECR crew. A lot of notes, a lot of chit chat throughout the week, trying to figure out what we can do to make each other as quick as possible. And definitely tip my cap to the 78. Brian, well-deserved champion this year. Dominated a lot of the season, and whether it's short tracks, super speedways, road courses, I mean intermediates, you name it, he's just you can expect him to be running up near the front, and it makes for a fun battle over the course of the year, and as well as week in and week out. So big congrats to him and everybody else in the Final Four. We're really proud of what we put together this season for Icon Cup Series, and appreciate everything you guys did for us in the booth. It's a grueling, long season, and it's a big commitment to come out each and every week. So we appreciate you guys doing that, and for all the viewers and the fans tuning in, we appreciate having you guys too, and having you on board.
Yes, sir. Well, kind of on that note, what are you going to do with your Sunday nights now that you're kind of in the break here at the end of the season?
Yeah, probably spend more time with my wife. I'm sure she'll appreciate the season being over, and having some more time together on the weekends. But it'll be a good off season and good chance to get a break in. So it's but we'll be ready to go for Daytona come February. It'll be fun. We're looking forward to it.
That was the exact same answer that Alan had in our pre-race discussion. It's more time with the wife. So shout out to all the wives who make this racing and broadcast possible. But yeah, congratulations again on the season. It didn't quite have the finish you were looking for here at Phoenix, but we'll look forward to seeing what's next at Daytona and next season for Icon. A pleasure to watch you race all season.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Next up to chat with us going to be driver of the number 30 car, Ryan Patty, here for you, Alan.
Ryan, what a season you had, come up just one position short of the race win, but nonetheless, how was the race and how was your season?
Yeah, overall, I think the season went as well as I had hoped it would go. with the high level of talent that we have in this league, you got Finnegan obviously challenging for a win every week, Brian dominating half the time, and then there's, I know the numbers dipped toward the end of the season, but we had half the field capable of winning a race for most of the year. So to be able to win, I think I had 3 wins this year, and some really big ones. Indianapolis and Daytona were huge, and then pulling off that Bristol win. Yeah, just feels really good. Had a lot of fun. Really racing side by side with some really fast guys, and yeah, man, to be able to lead laps and finish P2 here in the final race felt great. It was just what I had hoped for. I just only wish that things went a little bit smoother at Martinsville and Homestead, and we might have been in a position to challenge there.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're asking everybody, what is Ryan Patty's off-season plans going into the off-season outside of getting ready for Daytona in February?
Oh yeah, we got big plans this off season. So my wife is pregnant, and we're expecting our first child. Our daughter's due end of the year, so won't be doing too much iRacing over the winter, I don't think. But the goal is to be able to get back and be back on track for Icon and in Daytona. Well,
from myself and Shane, congratulations are in order. Please do share photos whenever the little one arrives. We'd love to see what the future of the walk car will be like, and whenever the baby comes, will the baby be sitting next to the iRacing rig as you go for an Icon Cup Series in 2026?
Yeah, we'll see. Probably not is what I would think. I know Cody Eldred had his baby this year, and that's why he was kind of intermittent, because he was on baby duty on Sunday nights, so he was always battling to get the baby to sleep so that he could get the race in. So thankfully, my wife's usually home on Sunday nights, and she's obviously very supportive of my silly games here, just trying to get on track and have some fun. Well, look, man, before we get you out of here and let you get that much needed break in, who do you want to thank, and who helped you get it done on this number 30 car? Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of folks that contribute to this league. I know, obviously, I probably hold the lion's share of the admin work, but we've got a really supportive admin team and a great rule book that makes it very consistent for us to keep this league competitive. So I just got to thank everyone on the admin team that helped out throughout the year. And that includes the appeals committee that took time out of their week to review incidents and make sure we came to fair rulings for everybody. Thank my teammates on track, CCR, ECR. I know, we had a pretty good crowd show up just about every week. Cody, Adam, Nathan, Mike, Justin, Kevin, right? They're all just really good guys and fun to chat with every week. And yeah, I mean, you guys in the booth made this an incredible season. So, Shane and Alan, I appreciate the both of you for everything you do. It's been a little bit difficult for me lately to keep up with some of the social stuff relevant, and these broadcasts have been wonderful from start to finish. And lastly, before I'll get off my soapbox, just want to thank my wife for being so supportive and letting me do this every week. It's it's a lot of fun. It means a lot to me to be able to compete. So appreciate that she puts up with that. Well, Ryan, with you being heavily involved with Icon here, I want to kind of ask you to hang out in the booth with us while we talk to our season champion Brian Smith. So Shane wants to go ahead and bring Brian up in the booth. I'll let you and Nathan come up here if he wants to, and we can all congratulate Brian on his championship. Yeah, that sounds great.
Joining us now, driver of the 78, winner of the race, and 2025 Icon Cup Series champion, Brian Smith. Brian, you got a copy?
I gotcha.
And just FYI, we decided to bring the whole podium up here so everybody can congratulate you on this one. So also joining us is Nathan Finnegan. But yeah, just a phenomenal race. I mean, for the first 150 laps, it seemed like you only led one lap, and it was just kind of like through a pit cycle or something, and then you turned it on at the end. It even looked like you were saving, and then we saw your lap time suddenly dip as you kind of put the pedal to the metal and put the slam dunk on the race and the season. 16 wins and a championship. I mean, just talk to us about your race.
Yeah, it didn't start out too good. I didn't get that good of a qualifying run in, so I think I rolled off P3 and didn't know how hard to push it. Didn't really know what the car was going to do. I didn't have a chance to get a long run in and warm up or practice or at any point this week. So I was a little afraid of pushing it too hard. And sure enough, I let too many guys by. I mean, Nathan was hauling tonight, and I think he was untouchable in that clean air once he got it. So sped on pit road, and that messed things up. But I was lucky enough to drive through and then caught a yellow at the right point, and sure enough, Nathan sped on pit road, and that just opened up the door for me to have the clean air. And Ryan was super fast there at the end, so that was a little nerve-wracking having him that close, but I knew if I just stayed enough in front of him to where we didn't have to go into a corner side by side, I should be able to hold on to it. So yeah, 16 wins, that's insane to think about with how many things can happen in a race. And I had so much fun battling these guys all year long, and the admin team and Ryan and Nathan and everyone do such a good job running this league, and you guys do such a good job on the broadcast. So this is the first league I've ever won, so it's a pretty cool moment for me. And yeah, just hats off to everybody that I raced with this year in this league. They do such a good job of keeping the race green and really respectful racing for the most part. So I just had such a good time.
Yes, sir. And I mean, it's been a blast to watch all of you great icon drivers kind of just show us what good, clean, hard racing can look like. And maybe you don't have this perspective because you're not seeing as many other leagues, but this is just one of the cleanest leagues that I've ever observed. And I just want to give you guys all a shout out for that, especially here tonight. I mean, we really only had 2 cautions, and they were pretty basic ones. Hated to see the 4 and the 38 get together. That was obviously a mistake between teammates. And I think the only other one was just a solo spin down on the apron. So a super clean race, really emblematic of all the racing all season long. But congratulations again on the championship, on the race win. Who else you got to thank for your run this night and this season? And just FYI, every other person has thanked their wife. So make sure you do what you need to do to hold serve with everybody else.
I don't have a wife, but I do want to shout out one more group of people, and that's everyone that watched the race this year on the broadcast. Shout out to you guys for watching. I know I got some people that tune in and really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. So hope everyone that watched enjoyed. I did my best to put on a good show. There were some absolutely epic battles this year. Nathan and I were just talking about in the waiting room. Sonoma comes to mind. Hate to bring that one up with him in here, but that was one of the best finishes to a race that I've ever had. So yeah, I can't say enough about the green flag racing and the competitors, and just fun. It was a casual, fun, competitive league to run on Sundays this year, and I truly enjoyed myself, and I hope everyone else did too.
We had a blast watching that. With that, we'll kind of hand it off. Ryan or Nathan, you guys have any additional questions for Brian here?
I think bringing up Sonoma, my yeah, I think if somebody went back and watched the stream, I think my heart rate monitor on my stream was probably pegged for a good 15 minutes there to the end, seeing that delta get smaller and smaller. But at the same time too, that's what makes racing so enjoyable and so fun to spectate as well as take part in. So agreed though, as much as we came out on the shorter end on that one, that was definitely one of my highlights, I think, of the season. That was a really, really fun race.
Yeah, I'll just add it that having someone like Brian, winning 16 races, some people may turn their nose up and say, "Oh, it was a dominant season." Brian, I think you'll probably agree. Nobody made that easy on you. You had to battle for every last one of those wins.
Absolutely.
And from my perspective, it's made me and I think everyone around you much better. Even looking at some of your teammates and myself and Nathan. I mean, Braxton, right? Really turned it up this year. So many folks, I think, have gotten better at iRacing just because of the level of competition that you bring.
Well,
yeah. Sorry, Alan, go ahead.
Just to bring up the Sonoma thing one more time, I thought after that Sonoma, Nathan Finnegan's Christmas card list is going to shrink by 1.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. That was just 2 different strategies meeting up on the last lap and just battling it out. But yeah, I appreciate the kind words, guys. It means a lot. You guys put a lot of effort into this league, and I was glad to participate in it. And yeah, and I also want to shout out to you guys again on the broadcast. I don't think you guys missed a single race this year. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that's a huge commitment from you guys. So I'll speak for everyone else when I say we all appreciate that. And yeah, you guys made a ton of improvement in the year, as the year went on. You guys do a great job. So thank you for that.
Yeah, we appreciate you talking about it. Yeah, I don't think SRM missed a race. I think Alan and I both subbed out some other folks when we needed to, but it's a team effort. Fun, very fun league to cover on Sunday nights. And talking about that, we're heading into the off season, which is also kind of the recruiting season for anybody who has been watching these icon races and maybe wants to get on the track with you. What are the details? How do they get involved? How do they find you and kind of break onto the scene here?
Yeah, so we're most months of the year we'll be pretty active on social media. Like I said earlier, we got the baby on the way, so it's taken a little bit of time away from that lately. But I will say, if anyone's interested, hit us up on social. We're on Facebook. We'll typically, post up any public updates there throughout the year. And once we get closer to Daytona, we'll activate our registration and sign up sheets for any drivers interested. We're fairly open, so there's no talent minimums or maximums here in this league. This is a league that's for fun. The goal really is to have a place where folks can come out and enjoy themselves on Sunday night with some good high competition. So yeah, we'll be back. Typically we start the next season the week following the in real life Daytona 500. So long as it's not on the Super Bowl next year, I'll have to double check the schedule, but yeah, we'll be back probably mid to end of February, and hit us up on Facebook if you're interested in joining.
Well, you just took the words right out of my mouth. And I was going to say, is the Holiday Mixer series coming back, or what do we got going on for the month of December, or are we going to be quiet?
Yeah, I think we may be quiet. I don't know if any of the other admins want to put something on, but I'm going to be elbow deep in babies, right? So I don't really have a lot of extra time, right? We're going to be probably buried in a pile of diapers for the next few months here.
Well, if like Ryan Patty is taking donations on Huggies or Pampers, whatever you feel like sending, but like diapers are expensive, Ryan. I'm trying to get you free diapers, and even for the people all season long that wanted the free Venny, free Pampers to Ryan Patty, and you can even put free Venny on the diapers. Just saying.
Yeah, we'll just make sure that's on the inside.
And just to add to Ryan's point too, like if people are watching and haven't run a league before and are thinking about it, and it's like, oh, is it gonna be something uncomfortable to do or go out of my comfort zone to try? Definitely recommend it. I mean, I certainly can speak to it. I don't want to speak for Ryan necessarily, but I mean, I've found some really, really awesome friends through this community within iRacing, and people that I would consider to be some of my closest friends, and whether it be just racing on Sunday nights or, chatting with one another throughout the week as well and getting involved in one another's lives. So very real life relationships can, certainly be built around these hobbies and interests. So again, if you're out there and you're thinking about doing a league and you've never done it before, definitely recommend giving it a shot. And all of our teams are always recruiting, generally speaking, new drivers, and you never know who you could end up coming across and can make some pretty awesome lifelong friends throughout this process.
Absolutely. And on behalf of myself and Shane, I want to thank you guys for having us this season, having us in the broadcast booth, letting us be a part of this all season long. It's the one thing I look forward to throughout the week, whether I was on call at work or through my 9 to 5. I always look forward to coming into the booth on Sunday and watching this league, because it is hands down one of the best. I mean, I race in 2 leagues myself. Shane's a racer, I'm a racer, and we're all racers here. It's like getting to hang out with your buddies on Sunday nights, and even the YouTube.com live chat stole my heart.
Yeah, it's been a blast, and but yeah, so we're looking forward to what's next for all the drivers, and hope everybody enjoys their off season. Ryan, if you need some book or podcast recommendations for new dads, I got a whole bunch of things, but
diaper changing 101.
The diaper is the easy part. That's not even the hard part. But yeah,
I spent most of the day figuring out how to put together a stroller, so a different set of 4 wheels.
Oh, I've got a lot of opinions on strollers, and we don't have enough time to cover it here.
Guys,
Conversation.
thank you both. I'm looking forward to next year. It's gonna be a wild few months, but once we get back around, I'm looking forward.
All right. Well, once again, Ryan, Nathan, and Brian, thank you for joining us up here in the booth. Shane, you and I have one more piece of housekeeping to do before we get out of here and call this a season.
We do, but I've been trying to figure out how to do it. I have no idea how to do it because everybody was given black flags, the positions changed, and technically this race is still live on lap 202, so there is no way for me to pull up the results for this one. But we know Brian Smith won it. And from there, you're going to have to go back and check the replay.
Yeah, I'm going back through it now just to clarify the points. I believe, obviously, Brian has the championship. Patrick Colby is going to finish in P2 in the points, so congratulations for him. And that'll put me, the 30 car in third place, tied with Braxton in points, but I will break the tie on the average finish in the final 3.
All right. Well, congratulations to all of you. And for the final time this season, we're going to be signing off here with the Icon Cup Series on SRM Sunday nights. Thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody who's been watching all season long in the live chat. You've kept us awake and kept us laughing with all the comments, whether it's Free Vinny or cheering on Braxton DeWeese or any other driver. That's just the one that sticks out in my mind. I know Braxton had a huge following watching most of the season. So we appreciate all of you, and we'll see you next time here on SRM.